Credit card debt is extremely common, and credit card debt is one of the biggest financial traps keeping people stressed, anxious, and stuck. The good news is that paying off your credit card doesn't require some extreme lifestyle or winning the lottery to do it. It requires a simple plan and the discipline to follow that plan. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 real steps to conquer your credit card debt. The reason credit card debt feels impossible is because of how high the interest can be. When you carry a balance and just make minimum payments, the interest compounds against you every single month. The average credit card interest right now can be anywhere between 20 and 24%, and to me, that's crazy. That means even if you're making minimum payments, your balance barely moves because you're paying so much money each month in interest. And in some cases, you can be paying the minimum payment for years and then check out your credit card balance and still owe almost the exact same amount. Until you attack that credit card debt aggressively, you're facing an uphill battle. So, step 1 is to actually understand your debt. You need to write down every credit card debt that you have. You need to write down the balance, the interest rate, the statement balance, the minimum payments, etc. Write this down on paper or in a computer spreadsheet. This is probably going to be the most uncomfortable part because the reality of the debt is going to be right in front of your face. And it's going to be the most important step, though, because you need to know exactly what you're up against. Now that you see the numbers in front of you, it's time to stop the bleeding. This means no new credit card debt that you can't afford from here on out. You don't have to throw your credit cards out forever, but you do need to limit your spending to the necessities while you're trying to pay off this debt. If you keep adding charges while paying your debt off, you might find yourself back in square one. This is going to be just a temporary sacrifice just to get you back on track financially. The second step you need is to identify a debt payoff strategy, and there are 2 methods that have been proven to work. The first is the avalanche method, where you focus on the card with the highest interest debt first and pay that off in as big of a chunk as you can. The avalanche method is going to save you the most money in the long term. However, it's going to be the hardest to commit to at first, which is why some people like the second method that I'm going to mention better. The second method is the snowball method, where you focus on the smallest balance first, pay off that credit card, and then hop onto the next one to build yourself a little bit of small wins and momentum. This one is not going to save you as much money in the long run as the avalanche method, but the snowball method might give you the confidence you need to start using the avalanche method later on your debt paying journey. The best debt payoff method for you is the one that you're going to stick with. Consistency will beat being perfect all the time. The third step, and I already alluded to this earlier in the video, the third step to help you get out of credit card debt is creating margin in your budget. If every dollar you earn is already spent, there's nothing left to actually attack your credit card debt with. Go through your expenses and look for areas where you can temporarily cut back. There might be some subscriptions you forgot about. You might want to eat out less in the week, do a little bit less impulse spending on Amazon. These are just some examples that are coming to the top of my head. This isn't about depriving yourself forever. It's about redirecting cash temporarily to set yourself a clear goal. Every extra dollar you free up, if you really want to get out of debt, needs to go towards your highest interest credit card balance. And the faster you can reduce that balance, the less interest you're going to be paying each month, and you're going to start getting back on track with your finances. The fourth and last step that I have for this video to help you pay off credit card debt is going to be to increase your income, even if it's just for a short period of time. This doesn't mean that you need to completely change careers or hustle nonstop. This could be picking up an overtime shift or something at work, maybe doing a temporary side job for a few months. You could freelance, sell things on Facebook Marketplace that you might not longer use. Credit card debt is easiest to beat when you treat it like a focused sprint rather than a slow, drawn-out process that could take years and years. The goal is to throw as much money as you can at this debt while you're in payoff mode, so you can get out faster and move on to building wealth. Just like the avalanche method I talked about earlier in the video. Extra income here also helps you psychologically. When you start seeing your balances drop faster, your motivation is going to go up. You're going to start to feel in control of your debt again. That momentum is going to matter especially when you're dealing with something that's been stressing you out for such a long time. Every payment that you make on your credit card debt is going to be proof that the plan is working. And once that debt is gone, that extra income doesn't just disappear. You're going to get to redirect it towards building your emergency fund, investing, or other financial goals that you might have for the near future. Now, before I wrap up this video, I want to say this. Getting out of credit card debt is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You're going to make mistakes along the way, and you might have a few setbacks, and that's even okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward and do not quit on your plan to pay off your credit card debt. Progress, even if it's slow progress, is going to beat doing nothing every single time. A lot of people get discouraged because they expect the payoff journey to be clean and linear, but it rarely is. You might have a month where an unexpected expense pops up or where you don't make as much progress as you hoped, and that's just life. The mistake is letting one setback turn into giving up altogether. You got to put things into perspective here with the credit card debt because you are not alone. The average American has between $6,000 and $8,000 in credit card debt, and these numbers just keep climbing year after year. It's also important to remember that the habits you're building while paying off debt matter just as much as the final result. Learning how to budget, control your spending, and delayed gratification are skills that you'll use long after your credit card debt is gone. And finally, don't underestimate how freeing this is going to feel once your debt is gone. When you no longer have high interest credit card debt payments hanging over your head, your income starts working for you instead of against you. That's what's going to make this effort worth it in the end. Now, if you found this video helpful and you like the tips that I talked about in this video on how to pay off your credit card debt, make sure to hit that like button. It's really going to help the channel reach more people. And let me know down in the comments where you're at on your debt payoff journey, how much debt you may have, and what steps you're working on right now to pay off that debt. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.